Hey guys, it's DoubleAA or Aaron here, and today I'm bringing you a director's commentary of my Halo Reach Montage 6. I tweeted this a little bit ago, asking if anyone wanted to see my thought process and how I edited my videos and how all that works, so I thought I'd try it, give it a shot, see how it goes. So I'm pretty much gonna walk through M6 and pretty much show you how I did it. If I do any more of these in the future, I'm probably going to stick to editing mainly, but since this is my own video, I'm going to kind of go over some of the clips, maybe tell some cool stories, how I got them and why I put them in places that I did. So I'm pretty much going to watch through, pause the video whenever I feel like it, and tell you how this went. So pretty much wanted to start this video out by kind of really leading into the video. The song I chose, the first song, I really loved the song. If you've seen any of my scrap renders, I went through a ton of different songs. I could never figure out what I wanted for my final Halo Reach montage because, you know, this game has been my life for a long time. I mean, okay, not that long, but you know what I mean. So I wanted to lead this in, and it felt like the song was good, but didn't have a strong lead in, so I thought I'd add this little, I don't know what you want to call it, just fast forward through M4 and M5 right to M6 and kind of have this nice pop. This pop was like a shockwave effect. You've probably seen it in a lot of different videos. Made it in After Effects, used a bunch of stuff like fractal noise and pixel poly and a bunch of other glows and colors and stuff like that. This whole thing right here was honestly me just being bored and I'm not sure what I wanted to do, so we have like cool colors and shape layers and I think even some twitch effects and stuff. I'm talking about behind the text here. The text itself, looking back on it, it's ugly as hell, and I don't know why I picked it or why I edited it the way I did, but here we are. Still really happy with it. Text has always been a problem of mine. I've never had the eye for text. I've had the eye for some things. Text has never been one of those things. Wanted to start off with this Hang 'em High Pock, and the reason for that is, first of all, I felt like it fit well with the beginning of the song, but also little DoubleAA Halo Reach Montage Easter egg. If you went back and watched my M4, you will see that it starts with a Hang 'em High Jaro. Then M5 starts with a Hang 'em High Tast, leave off M6 with a Hang 'em High Pock. I just thought that was kind of a cool Easter egg. No, there's not going to be an M7 with an air. I'm sorry. I know a lot of you really liked this TV effect. It's probably one of my favorite cleanest effects of this whole video. And how I did that was actually pretty easy. Pretty much what I did was I made a few shape layers of pretty much a box, and then made the two antennas. Just making shape layers in AE, if you don't know anything about shape layers, it's pretty easy to handle, especially for TV, which is just a box. And then I put the angle here of the triple, I think it's a triple, gain exploded into the TV and zoomed it out. And then what's actually interesting is this angle here is not a moving angle at all. I just keyframe the position and scale, kind of to make it easier so I didn't have to actually 3D track this TV. And then I pretty much added some glows and some blurs and some other stuff to it to kind of make it like an old TV, but also like a, you know, a new, my own style to it. Then we got this transition here. The please wait and proceed, I didn't initially plan to have, but after I made the effect, I was actually pretty happy with it. So yeah, it's just kind of a mass transition with lightning or something like that. I don't know, it's pretty happy with it. Really happy with this truss though. Wish it was a 2-for-1, but alas it was not. If you couldn't tell, that was the weird shape layer thing I did. I wanted to just do something saying like, wish this was a 2-for-1 truss extern, but putting that there just didn't seem cool enough, so I added all these weird random shapes that I don't know why they're there, but there they are. A lot of people really liked was this speech bubble that says hello, and you know, it is kind of what I picture when editing and playing this clip, and that's kind of why I included it. I try to include my thoughts, at least in my own videos. In other people's videos, probably not as likely that I do this, but you know, when I was playing, I was like, oh, my extern popped up, you know, let's show that off. And you'll see later in this video, you guys really like the move please fine. We'll get to that later. But yeah, nice Hang 'em High extern. This clip, now, okay, story behind this clip. So I was in a call with Phil, aka Cheesecake, and we were both playing Halo Reach. I forget which map he was playing, but he was really upset because he just choked a 2-for-1 tag. He was kind of bummed out about it. While that was happening, I was playing this game, and literally 2 minutes after he said that, I hit this 2-for-1 tac exterm. And I don't have headphones when I played Halo Reach, so I just had to put volume through my speakers. So he heard it over the call and heard that I got a 2-for-1 tac exterm. And man, he was annoyed. Like, he was happy for me, of course, as we all should be for when other people hit clips. But, you know, he was rightfully annoyed that I hit that right after he choked something like that. But this effect, I was really happy with. I don't really know what it is or why I did it. But I said later because he was trying to piece out of there and I said no. But yeah, these are just kind of some squares that I put in a circle and then added some glow and some blur and stuff and had it kind of expand out. Then I copied and pasted a few of them to add some variation. And then for some reason I just kind of masked out the later Spartan and added a few colors that show up one by one and then disappear one by one. It's kind of a sloppy effect when you really look at it, but either way I was still really happy with it. Then we've got this transition. What I'm actually really happy about is if you really look close, this right here is not part of the map. Yeah, this layer is it's actually just a shape layer that I made in After Effects and then added some blur and noise to it and then moved it across the screen so it actually looks kind of like a mask or transition when really it's not. I really liked colors in this and I wanted to kind of keep it, you know, it's kind of a somber song when you really think about it, but I wanted to still keep it fun and entertaining. Now this clip is definitely one of my favorites of the video, just because it's really unique. Like, people go for no scopes and stuff, but I don't know, I really liked it. It's not, I don't think everyone would main this, but I really liked it. As far as editing goes, definitely one of my favorite effects is when it slow-mos right before the shot. This, honestly, I think I was using my inner Pooba. I don't even know, but I don't even know what effects these are, honestly, so I can't help you out there if you're trying to recreate it. And this, what's actually really funny is everyone who watched this thought this was a mask. Like, these transitions were masked, but no, it's literally just me speeding it up and blurring it a bunch that makes it look like a transition when it's really not. Now this transition, I think I changed it about 5 different times because I never got it exactly how I wanted to. And looking at it again now, it's still not exactly how I wanted it. I probably would have added a little more of this fiery electric smoke looking thing. Either way, I'm still really happy with that. Now this was more of the, you know, my personality coming into the edit where I say stop using rockets, because I think you all know I use rockets a lot, like so much, like oh my gosh, stop using rockets, Aaron. You use rockets so many times, like stop. But I just really like that, and I liked the green effect here that I did. Now this transition right here, this was probably one of my favorite things to do because I was like, honestly, a lot of these effects happen because I get bored, so I just start with something and it turns into this. I started making these squares, just kind of rotate, and like it's fairly simple when you think about it. It's just squares scaling up and rotating. But it got me excited about it, and I needed a transition between these two clips to do a same game, and I didn't just want to do random angles, so I went with the animation. This effect is one of my favorites, but I think the thing that I wasn't too much of a fan of was just the fact that, and this is nothing against you guys, but a lot of people thought that I just changed the color of the lift, but this is actually an effect. Like, this is not just me changing the color, this is like some fire that I made using fractal noise and some other effects and had it look up like that, and I was just really happy with it. And I just wanted to clarify that, not because I was upset that people said, oh, I'm just changing the color, but just that I did put a little more effort into it than just changing the color. But really happy with that. If you ever want to know how to do stuff like that, I could make a tutorial, though it's not that it's too difficult. It's just that it's really all personal preference when it comes to stuff like that. Now this clip is one of the luckiest clips I've ever gotten, and I cannot believe I got this 2-for-1 exterm on Countdown in 2018. Like, that is blowing my mind, but definitely a really lucky clip. Really like the effect here. Again, using the same effect that I used for the fire on the lift. And all these clips I placed specifically because I feel like, you know, I listened to this song so many times, probably 100 times, and I wanted to make sure the clips fit where I think they should, both in what kind of clips they were, as far as how good they were, and also just where they fit syncing wise and flow wise. Now this clip, this also has a funny story. So this was probably the last clip that I hit for this song when I was finishing it up. And I had this black space right in the middle of the song, and I was like, okay, I need a quick kind of exterm that's really sick, but that's gonna be hard to hit. And I joined a call, the ENF chat, and I was talking with Sean and a few others. I don't remember who else was there, but I know Sean was there. And I told him that I just need to pull a Sean in order to finish the song. What I mean by that was in his Final Halo Reach Montage, his last clip, which he was trying to go for, was a cross-map 2-for-1 no-scope exterm on Hang 'em High. And I was like, I just need to pull a Sean, easy. Then, literally like 10-20 minutes later, I get this game and I somehow hit a 2-for-1 exterm on Hang 'em High, which is fairly long range. It's not as long range as his, but I just thought that was hilarious that for some reason I tend to hit clips when I'm like comparing myself to others. Anyway, this transition right here, I'm pretty happy with it. I think if I were to go back right now and change it, I definitely would. I would change a lot of things about it. I would change where the road ends, I would change stuff like that. But pretty much how I did this was with the main angle, I pretty much zoomed in and scaled it vertically and not as much horizontally. So kind of, so the pillar right here kind of forms into the road. Then we've got some of the pillars just showing up. I don't know why I did that either. But yeah, this road, I just used shape layers. I used a few pictures for reference. Not that I really need a reference for roads, but just to kind of know the forms like a tip at the end. When you're looking at a road that's like going down. Yeah, I'm cutting this part out. This effect is just, you know, some people call it a mask. I just call it a really feathered wipe. It's not really a mask, but this effect right here is pretty much a projector effect, which you can probably find in a lot of softwares. So it's just one of those. That's why you see the line and the few white marks that show up. And then this is honestly just a bunch of squares and circles and stuff that I made using shape layers, and then turned it into this effect, which is pretty much just a yellow fast blur. And then I used a little bit of twitch, as you saw there. If you see, the twitch effect has the color shift things. So yeah. Then this transition, not many people talked about, which is fine, but what I really liked about this is there's no mask or anything here. It's literally just a cross dissolve, but I made some shape layers and blurred them and added some noise to them and just have them pan across the screen. So it kind of looks like a mask when really it's not, but when you play it fast, it looks pretty cool. And then this clip, well, I think you guys all know this clip. This clip is dumb in the fact that these kids don't know what they're doing at all, but it's definitely one of the best clips that I personally have ever hit on Hang 'em High, or not Hang 'em High, on Headlong. And I think it's probably, I would say it's maybe the best clip on this map in Halo Reach. I don't want to say that for sure. I would say it's definitely up there because there's not that many tasks on Headlong and clearly not a gyro exterminator task, so I'm pretty happy with this clip. I knew that was going to be the ending of this song. Then I hit that last clip in the next song and I was like, oh, maybe that should have been the last clip, but this song was already edited. So originally, now moving on to the second song, I originally was only going to have one song. Actually, before the Anarchist series came out, I was going to have 2 songs, but I gave like half of my mains to Rob for the Anarchist video. If you haven't seen that, please go check it out. That has a lot of my almost mains, I guess, as you could call them. But in this, I would say almost all of these clips I would probably lefty if I was really going for a big Taj or a really specific Taj. But for this case, I just kind of wanted any clips I had left. I wanted them to be good enough that people are like, why'd you put a highlight clip in here? But they are definitely not as, they're not supposed to be as good as in the first song. Some of them are, and that's just because they didn't fit in the first song, but that's how it went for me. So what we have here is just a few angles, you know, of some maps, and then we've got to the credits, and this was probably my most ambitious thing that I had to do. Well, not had to do, but you know what I mean. And I was pretty happy with it for the most part. My original idea was to go through a bunch of different maps and have the entire credits be this one long continuous thing, But that got really complicated really fast after doing just one like mass transition between Pinnacle and Damnation. And how I did that, I kind of explained it in my effects breakdown video. But pretty much what it was I just 3D tracked all the text of the first video and then did the second video track, and then I masked out the doorway in Damnation and put that Pinnacle clip in that doorway and then just kind of scaled it down in line with the doorway. So that's pretty much how I did that. If you want more in depth, comment below and I'll try to explain it more. Anyway, then we got more credits here, and honestly, I just got really lazy. There were so many people I wanted to thank, and I didn't feel like doing too much to like show that off. Now here, this is a prime example of what I was talking about, where these are not main clips, because this is a 3-for-1 rocket to no scope extern, which, I mean, I made it because it's reflection, and I needed a reflection clip because I knew about this effect that I wanted to do, which I will get to in a minute, and that's why this clip is in here. It's not a good clip. I was gonna throw it in a highlight video, but it's in here. No one really complained, so I'm happy. Then we got this angle here, and I hope you guys noticed the little AA symbol here, but if you didn't, there it is. And then we got this nice floor transition, which I'm really happy about, which leads into this, which I think is probably everyone's favorite effect. Definitely one of my favorites. I remember in order to do this, I wanted to just slowly, gradually speed up the globe. But in order to do that and get it as fast as I needed to, I literally sat staring at this globe for 15 minutes straight and recorded the whole 15 minutes, because if you've ever played Halo Reach and ever played Reflection, that globe spins really slowly. Like, it spins so slowly, so I was there quite a while. Anyway, then we got this clip. This clip, in quite the contrast to Reflection, the Reflection clip. Definitely a main in my opinion. It's got a lot of rockets. It's not the best clip ever, but it's attack double exterm, and it's pretty hard for me to hit those on this map, so I was pretty happy with it. Really happy with this transition. It's fairly simple, and how I did it was pretty much I made just a bunch of different boxes. As you can see, there's like a purple box and then a pink box and then like a in between purple and pink box right there, and then I just duplicated it a bunch and made it into this, and then made a few that were bigger and changed the colors of them and like blurred them so it looks kind of cool, put some other effects in the background, and then just kind of blended it in. And if you can kind of tell, I kind of tried to mask out the sword, but the whiteness kind of contrasted with the whiteness of the sword, so I kind of gave up on that pretty fast, but I left in whatever I masked there. Then right here, your guys' favorite part of the video is, yep, this is an AFK Jaro. He was moving earlier, so I asked him to please kindly move again. He did not. Still got the Jaro though. What actually sucks is I did see where the task spawned, but it was too late. Then here we've got a no-scope tac exterm, which I'm pretty happy with this clip. I do really like this angle. It's pretty much, I let the explosion go a little bit and then I had to pause and then zoom out. Then I did some cropping to kind of zoom in on the over, and then got the over here. And then this tac exterm guy, I actually managed to mask him out, but what's really interesting is because of the flashes and because of how fast he moved across the screen, you can't even tell that I really masked it when you watch it back in full time. So, you know, you can't always do the effects you want right, but it's okay. Then we've got a nice little mask transition, and then right here, this is probably my favorite angle that I've done that has gone so well in this transition. And what it is pretty much, here's the angle of the blue guy, right? And he, of my exterm. And what I did to get this smooth zoom out is pretty much, when in my gameplay version of this, I pretty much just zoomed in and lined up the blue Spartan with the angle and my gameplay. I know it's kind of hard to explain, but pretty much I did that and then blended it together. So basically, the position the blue guy is in the angle is going to be the same position the blue guy is going to be in my gameplay footage, and then I just zoom out a little bit. And I just was really happy with how that looked because it kind of looked seamless, which I was really happy with. Now this clip, I didn't even bother editing this very hard because, well, you've seen this clip. You know this clip is the dumbest clip ever, and it's dumb for many reasons. It's dumb because the amount of nades I used to kill the guys. It's dumb because literally 7 or 8 of the 9 people I killed for this killpocalypse all went up the lift. Like, I thought you would realize that the lift... it's a dumb clip. Then we've got this clip, which I'm pretty happy with. Like, hitting this in Halo Reach 2019 is pretty cool too, or 2018. Gotta keep saying 2019. A nice quick scope truss on reflection. You don't see that very often, so I was really happy with that clip. That clip would have been main if I hit it sooner and put it in song 1. Pretty happy with how I edited this too. I think it synced well with the song. Man, I cannot say edited very well, but here we are. And then here we've got the mother of all clips. Really hard 3-for-1 rocket. Man, I can't speak anymore. And I kind of did this like fading frame blending, I think is what it's called. I don't really remember. Just I feel like it kind of fit well with the song. And then we've got the best clip ever, which, to be honest, I probably wouldn't make it quite as bright as I did because you can't actually see anything. But still, I was really happy. This was pretty much some wiggling, some glow, I think it was 2 layers of glow, one which was just a normal, and then one that only that was only horizontal. That's why you see all the streaks like really going to the sides here. And it was just, it's one of my favorite clips, and as you can see in the corner, there's Chris. He saw me do it. He didn't even realize what I hit until I stopped moving. But then we zoom here into this angle, which goes into one of my personal favorite effects, and I showed a breakdown of how I did this using pictures from M4, which I thought was a cool Easter egg. But I actually got this idea from the show Chuck. If you've ever seen the show Chuck, he basically is this spy who has an intersect in his head, and every time like he sees something political or government based, he has this flash where a bunch of information comes to him, and this is kind of the effect they use, at least in the later seasons. And I kind of took my inspiration from there, and I thought it was just a really cool effect. Then here we just kind of got, I wanted to really kind of, for some reason I have a thing of going up to space. You'll kind of see that in M9, spoiler, where I just like going up to space in the final video. It's kind of like you've left. I kind of tried to do an effect where I leave the atmosphere. I probably would not do it this way again because it doesn't look very convincing, but I'm still happy with it. Then we got this cool space thing, which I made using a bunch of different effects. This is all of this except for the fireworks can be done in After Effects using just simple effects and then altering some of the stuff a little bit. It's really not as complicated, and I've never tried to say that I'm the best editor out there. I'm definitely not, and I try to be the best editor I can, but I'm not about to go say some of these effects are hard, because some of them are definitely not. But I still like the way they look. The fireworks, I thought about making it in After Effects, but it got too complicated for me, so I just downloaded some stock fireworks and stuff, and then had a few last minute words, some thank yous and stuff, because it is my last Reach video. I'm definitely not going back to Reach. And for the most part, I'm not even going to be playing that much, maybe until Halo Infinite. Just going to kind of stick to editing for the most part. Then I just did this kind of cool flashback because the song said it. The song said, hey, do a little flashback right before it ends. So I flashback of M4 and M5 and then turned it into just a white screen that says thanks for watching. But overall, I am really happy with this video. I think it's one of my best edits. Maybe not even edit, maybe it's the best presentation of a video. It might not have had the best clips or the best effects, but I think as far as the feeling goes, I think it did its job, in my opinion. But it's definitely one of my favorite videos that I've ever made, as far as montages go. So anyway, yeah, that has been my commentary. If there's anything that you think I missed or that I should have touched up on in this video, please let me know, so that if I do something like this again for any other video, that I will try to touch up on those more or go in depth on more things or anything like that. If you have any suggestions on what videos you'd like me to talk about, new ones, old ones, basically montages that I've made, just let me know and I will I'll do them. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Please like the video, subscribe, tweet, all that stuff, you know how it is. And See you guys in the next one. Peace.